and she was born Sarah Stone. And when she was about 19, she decided that Sarah was too ordinary a name. She changed her name to Cyril, C-Y-R-L, spelling it a little differently from the boy's name, C-Y-R-I-L.
And she got a great interest in theater. She joined a theater group. She actually studied Shakespeare on her own. She just went to the library, she used to tell me, and just read the plays. And she joined a theater group, and she went traveling with this group up to Milwaukee and maybe St. Louis. They did some Midwest.
Minneapolis, too.
Minneapolis. They did some theater, and so she was a little actress for herself at one time.
Well, she was tough. She could be very sweet, and she could be very tough. Sometimes to the same person. There are people who know her who say, oh, your mother is so sweet. She was so sweet. She was just so charming and everything. And I know that there are people who think she was a little on the tough side and unpleasant and maybe ungrateful. I know that there were times when she received gifts and she'd say, oh, I already have this, or this isn't something I could use. I mean, she was very outspoken and sometimes a little insulting. That's how she was.
Home, and then in the morning they're gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they going to do? They're going to take you home, right? Oh, and you'll be so sad to be leaving here, won't you?
No, I won't.
You won't?
Hey, that's right.
Well.
Hey, that's really right.
She could sing, but not really that beautifully or anything, I wouldn't say.
Your dad was singing.
Yeah, my dad was the musician in the family, could play the mandolin and sing beautifully, whistle. But my mom could never play an instrument. Granny did these were fashions of the day. Excuse me.
My dad had said, you're the best dressed woman on Division Street. That's something I remember.
See that one? I don't like that one so much. I think it's the green, and then the colors are just not something I care for. And of course, Granny did a lot of stuff. I wonder where the stuff is. Okay, come on down here.
This is one of my favorite crafts. It's pretty, and it's clever, and it costs nothing, almost. Yes. She had an eye, as she said, for creating art, A-R-T, out of trash, T-R-A-S-H. This is just made out of paper, newspaper for the flowers. Granny used to like to find rocks that had faces in them that could be maybe a little enhanced with a little clay, just a little bit, but mostly carved out. And then she would enhance them also with some black marker.
They can have a voting class, which is better, your scary art or the scary art of Granny's.
So we shared her chicken and lettuce and bread. She was always prepared. In her bag, she always carried a big bag, and in her bag she would have scissors and a screwdriver and food and tissue and cough drops, whatever you needed. She had it. She probably had some tinder kindling and fuel in there as well, just in case she needed to start a fire. Action figures made out of pipe cleaners. The bowler. Is that one of the things you're not too fond of? Does that look like a zombie, or does that just look like Frankenstein's monster? I believe that's Abraham Lincoln with a tail. I don't get that. Maybe it's Abraham, huh?
It was part of a show, I think, because the stick on there.
No, what about that?
I have no idea. He was wearing tails. That one piece up at the head of the staircase, I find it somehow, for me, riveting to look at it, and I don't know why, because that lady looks so austere. Kind of almost want to hit her up the head and say, hey, loosen up.
She wrote this in 91. She had exceptionally talented hands and the mind to direct them. By the time she was 14, she had sewed clothing for my mother and made extra fancy dresses for herself and me. She did the shopping for the material and made a suit for herself. Skirt and fully lined jacket. Outstanding. If she hadn't married a rich man, she might have made a name for herself in the fashion world.
Are you okay?
So.